wait a minute, you're a passport, bro? Oh, that means you just like to go over there for the S-tourism. No, it's lifestyle. That's why I'm saying, I think I'm gonna coin it, visa bro, right? I still gotta do polls on the channel. We gotta figure out what it is, but a visa bro. We ain't talking about none of that at all. It's lifestyle. It's getting out the rat race. Shout out to Oshay Duke Jackson. Let's go.
And I know y'all been experiencing that, and I hate to say it. Actually, no, I don't hate to say it. The majority of this is the black women in Atlanta. Some of the worst servers. No wonder the black man just be complaining so much about the treatment.
On May 7th, 2026, content creator Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews made a video called Why I'm Stepping Away from YouTube.
So long story short, I just need a break. I need a break. And for how long? I don't know.
He would go on to name 2 reasons as to why this was occurring. The first is he's been cancer-free for 5 years and wanted to take some time off to celebrate that. And then also, he's never really healed from his father passing in June 2023. Thirdly, being a content creator posting every day is a burnout and he wanted to refresh, but he didn't tell people where he was going. Then we saw this post. It said, needed this more than I knew. Rest, reset, get back to yourself. The mission isn't going anywhere.
He's right, you know.
Now, MTR wouldn't post another video until May 28th, 2026, when we would then find out his actual location. I left America for Thailand and realized we've been lied to. That was the first of 5 videos that he would post on the subject. Now, while all 5 videos have different degrees of information, cumulatively, we can understand that his messaging is broken down into 3 components. The first is dating and relationships.
They want loud and strong, yet quiet and reserved at the same goddamn time. They want at a moment's notice that you gotta defend their armor, you gotta be the rough, tough, bad guy. All right. At a moment's notice, you gotta be the Super Saiyan dick slinger. All right, you gotta put that thing up on the table. You know, which, you know, from my experience, it's not too bad of expectations, but you know, that corporate Tupac shit blows my mind. But as a man who is charismatic, you understand that there's a certain game that you have to play. Yeah. In respect, like how many of the dudes that are successful in the dating game, but like low key, are addicted to video games, right? But they don't let they don't let that component of their realness or their personality come out.
Now, it's important to understand that MTR has a much broader audience than me. I typically focus on black people, and MTR has a focus that's more wide-ranging. But he did give a hint at the black community here in talking about this idea of corporate thugs. In other words, you need to be a very charismatic guy to get the typical black woman in America. You need to be very hood, then at the same time, very smart, then to be able to clap cheeks very good. And your personality needs to be stretched so wide to cover all of this territory.
It's a lot.
Which really shouldn't be necessary.
Yeah.
But he would contrast that to Thailand.
When you're in a place where it's completely different,
the norms are
and
not
you're
there.
not held to the standards or the comparisons of those around you.
Now, in comparisons to having
it's not even that it's not there, because that is one huge component of it. But again, it is that I'm not assumed to be an enemy. And you just don't know when you walk up and you say hello, hey, what's up, how are you doing? If she gonna look at you at like you's a piece of shit. You don't know. So it causes a lot of dudes to be insular, to not say hello, to not engage, because for fear of that it may go in odd direction, or there might be a bad result, right? I talked about the story of me bigging up the girls over here in Atlanta, saying cheers. They're raising their cups up in the air. and a chick hits me with, oh, you gonna buy our drinks? I'm just cheersing you. Okay? Oh, you can't afford it? And she wasn't joking. I said, if you only know what I can afford. Oh, what do? She's screaming us across the goddamn, and I'm just like, what is this? What is this shit? Why is there not a respect here, even just based off of this that we're looking up on the screen right now? You say you share the same melanin. Why are we not on the same team? I've also talked about having conversations with young ladies that seemingly have great relationships with their fathers. Talk about their fathers like it's the world. But somehow, when it comes to their peers, the peer that is a man is the enemy. Why is there a cross to bear? Why is it? It baffles me that you are considered the enemy at first glance. It baffles me. But I understand because of the conscription of the content that so many of us just sit down and look at. By the way, shout out to Oshay. This is a beautiful video so far. Shout out to his editing team. He's just taking this to heights. Oshay a couple of years ago versus Oshay now, and it just goes to show if you keep your mind constantly excelling and working on your craft. I mean, this is amazing content right here. The editing that he's put together and the respect that he's given, to my story, my cancer story, and as well as my father, within that content. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, brother. Thank you. If you ever watch this.
Be the corporate thug for a lot of women, especially in the black community. These norms don't really matter in places like Thailand. Now, I'm in Uganda, and Ugandans are black, and just like Kenyans are black also. But these parameters that black men in America have to be under are not the same, even in African or black-based countries.
So he's agreeing with me.
Such as Uganda, Nigeria, and Kenya.
Yeah.
And this is one of the reasons why you have so many brothers coming here. You can be a good man. You can be a provider. You can
and a lame, as they want to call you, and corny, and a weirdo, and like all of these things that they want to label you. But I say just go where you respected, go where you're loved, go where you can be you, unabashedly. They want to define for you what a real man is. How absurd. You can't even define for yourself what a real man is. And here's the thing. I'm talking about the backwardsness of this culture as defined by those that we call influential figures. But also, there's something to be said of you as a man not being strong enough within yourself to persevere, to push through that as well. And a lot of us do, okay? Irrespective of it. But many of us fall victim to it. We are lemmings within the same culture and society as well. So although I'm being hard on what's considered normal here, I also have to place accountability on those that will shift and change. What's that Julio Fulio trial? And the young light-skinned boy who's going to be a good butt plug for the inmates over there. He had a fantastic life. He had a family that loved him. He's traveled, good schooling, but you want to go over here and be a gangster. What? And now you're done. Your life is over because you fed into the bullshit of what the media told you, brainwashed you into thinking that you needed to be masculine, to be a man. And now your life is over. Oh.
Be yourself. You don't have to fake the funk just to be around a lady in these other countries, and they could still view your masculinity. And speaking of masculinity, well,
and they more than likely want a man that's already finished the race as opposed to running the race with you.
Most women wait at the finish line in America. Women don't want you until you become somebody in America, which is typically how it works everywhere, to be honest.
One of the great markers of if she's a real one or not is if she was with you in the struggle. But here's the thing. Let's say you make it up there. Now, how do you define it? It's like you almost lose sight of that if you don't, you know what I'm saying, figure it out with a high school sweetheart, a college darling, right? Like, and you just out here in the free world just trying to figure it out. It's like you never know. And some of them will take 2.5 years before revealing exactly who exactly that they are. Okay? Let's go.
You're a man in America and you're trying to build yourself to obtain the kind of woman that you want physically. At the same time, this woman is dealing with a man that she's attracted to who can't do anything for you. And then what often happens is the guy who becomes the producer has the advantage over the woman who's just sitting there waiting at the finish line. And then if you don't deal with this woman because you no longer want her or she has kids, somehow, some way, you don't like black women,
yeah, they
you don't
shame
like
you.
American women, and you're just exercising your options. The issue is so many women have underestimated men that they never thought that these guys would become something.
Yeah.
So once these guys become something, they don't want you like you want them because you were not invested into their future.
Yeah, and then you start talking about going to a place like Thailand, and then all of a sudden it's, oh, there's lady boys over there. Like they shame you not to go. They don't want you to go over there and see nothing greener. No green pastures for you, baby. They don't want you to go to land of the smiles. You understand me? Because then you leave the market. Then they can't extract resources from you because you're not there anymore. You're just simply not there anymore. So they'll shame you out of it. That's when they'll be like, wait a minute. You're a passport, bro? Oh, that means you just like to go over there for the S tourism. No. It's lifestyle. That's why I'm saying, I think I'm going to coin it. Visa bro, right? I still got to do polls on the channel. We got to figure out what it is. But a visa bro, we ain't talking about none of that at all. It's lifestyle. Lifestyle. It's getting out the rat race. Okay? Shout out to Gio. He says the sign language is real, beyond real. And it works. Because I hear a lot of these young men saying the same thing. You tell them that you went over there, the first thing that they say, oh, you better watch out for the lady boys over there. Meanwhile, there's just as many, if not more, lady boys in the United States. Like, it's just as many here, baby. The difference is over there. You ask them, and they'll tell you the truth. I'm lady boy. Over here, you might make it to the second or third date before you figure out that is she slanging dick. He, she, it slanging eggplant bigger than yours.
And then this part.
Women are not asking how much that you make, right? There's still an expectation of, hey, you know, he's the man, he's going to get, and that's fine. But when you're doing it in a place where it's literally 80 to 90% less money than what you're used to, I gave an example within that story, and I said, you know, if I get chicken fried rice in Atlanta, it's $22, $23. If I go get chicken fried rice with tax, if I go get chicken fried rice over here, it's like $2, $3.
Now, dating in America, women do want to know how much you make. If they don't want to know how much you make, they'll ask you, well, what is your career? And then from there, they'll go and they'll try to estimate what your earnings are. That way, if she's kind of like moderately attracted to you, she knows if she should stay or not. But if you've dated overseas, I've never had any woman that asks me, how much money do you make? Very rarely do I have a woman ask me what my career is. And so when you're dealing with a woman who doesn't really care about those intricate details, what it lets a man know is that, oh, she is more genuinely interested in me as an individual. And of course, if I'm a man, I can take care of her and provide for her. That's a no-brainer. But is the woman necessarily genuine? And this is what his critiques were when it came to dating and relationships in America versus what he's seeing right now
Oshay gets
in
it.
Thailand.
Yes.
But then the second part
gets
of all of this was masculinity in manhood.
The American dream. What is that anymore? Is that even a thing? What's the American dream in 2026? What does that look like?
Now, this is a very important point because in the times of my grandfather, our father, the American dream was much more attainable. People at that particular time in the 70s or 60s, you could be earning $30,000 in the year if you had a really good job. And a single family home in Sacramento can cost like $40,000 in a year. So you could typically pay off a house within 5 to 6 years if you're really focused, especially if you had a 2-parent income or 2 people in the household. However, right now with the current economy,
it's different.
Their American dream is not what it used to be for men. A lot of men in the middle class can't afford to take care of women as before. And then to add the fuel to the fire to this.
Specifically for a man, one of which it seems as though it is now popularized to make you not feel good for being a man. It seems as though it is normalized
to be harsh,
to hate men. Men ain't shit.
Dog.
Men are dogs.
This is probably the...
I might do Red Cup Talk again, like exceptionally soon. Man, some of these conversations, especially in damn Atlanta. Oh my God. So many of these women are still like in the matrix and they have a low barometer hate for men. Let's put them right here. Let's have a conversation. And the thing is that they're generally sweet and nice people. It's the words that they use. Like I was talking to this one young lady and we were going back and forth. And of course I'm cooking her alive. And she said, the almighty women create life. Let's just say, I'm not going to tell you what I said in the way that I said it because we're going to do it over here for content. Let's just say she would remain silent for the next 15 minutes off of the things that I was saying. And I really think that because she doesn't have as much positive male influence within her life, right? Most of the dudes that are probably around are trying to probably put dick in her, right? And really don't give a fuck about her, right? That she's kind of, right, she's oriented towards a portion of the internet that paints dudes in that particular way, or she watches internet and it'll be like a chick with a fat ass and all the dudes are down up in the comments, we've arrived again, my boys, right? You know, and shit like that. Like, and then she comes up with this kind of idea, right? Like, so then her talking points come from this portion of the internet, and right, but she doesn't realize within that how selfish and illogical some of the points are. No. You harbor life. You cannot create life without a man. It's impossible. You can't do that. And you have some degree of superiority because you now have this idea that we create life. So therefore, we need to be so respected and appreciated. And it's not say that women should not be respected and appreciated, but so should men. What do you think goes into the psyche of a young boy who doesn't even conceive that he creates life? How about that he just gives his seed out willy-nilly? Because he's not living in a place where they consider his seed is valuable. That's why I always talk about protect, wrap it up. Because your seed is so valuable. It's so valuable. Don't just be spreading it out here, just giving it out. It's a rare resource. It's a resource. They have sperm banks for that. That if the woman can't find, right, like, or is having some pregnancy difficulty, right, or just wants to be a single mother, which is a component of them that just want to be a single mother, they put that shit in a bank and they give men money to, right, like based off of your genetic. Perhaps there is some value behind it. Perhaps you shouldn't just leave it willy-nilly. Perhaps after you finish off in that condom, you make sure you dispose of that condom because you don't know what her crazy ass gonna do in that goddamn bathroom alone with it. Okay? She got a goddamn turkey baster underneath the sink. Just take that motherfucker out and just start like in the goddamn shower, you heard? You knocking on the door. Hey, you good in there? She's in there squeezing the accordion-shaped turkey baster of your seed down up into the orifice, okay? Slightly joking on this, but you understand my point. Anyway, there's things like that that orient the way that we think.
The strongest point to me, because what I have noticed is there's so much hatred towards men for just existing in America, especially black men, but I'm pretty sure all races. Even if you are a man that supports the interests of women, or even black women in particular, I've seen those men take a lot of, unnecessary treatment. Now, Uganda is not perfect, nor Thailand is perfect, but one thing is true here. Men are very, very much respected. I believe
that's
that
my
Richie
point.
Mack was telling me, shout out to Zoom to Thailand, people always call him sir. How are you doing?
Yes.
There's a lot of respect for what men
Sadika,
do in the society.
Kodika.
And that's very true in Uganda and Kenya. Women respect you if you're a man, you're a builder, you're providing, you're courteous. This is a respect thing.
Yes.
Whereas in America, people kind of believe that you ought to do it.
Yes.
You should do it. Period.
Got him.
Your generosity should be just the basics. It's the bare minimum.
Come on.
When really it's not the bare minimum. You don't deserve a man to just give you, what he has. You have to earn it. And this is the thing that I've noticed overseas, that people really, really respect that.
Yes.
Your masculinity is not toxic in these places.
Yes.
It's encouraged, right? People want men to develop the society, and women want real men. And you can be a real masculine man without being abusive towards women or towards the society. Whereas you're not toxic if you don't fit a particular agenda, and we won't talk about what that is right now. So that is his concern here. The American dream and the misandry towards men.
That's it.
Is something that is driving men away in general.
It is.
But the third piece would be quality of life.
Why is it that now,
Just real quick before I get off of the idea, guys, respect is everything. What I say, the number one thing that you need to require from her is respect. Respect, respect, respect. But don't fight for respect. Go the other way. It just so happens that another way might be a plane ticket trip away, okay? Respect is number one. Do not fight against it. Go where you're appreciated. Go where you're loved. And here's the thing. Shout out to all the women that do respect us, that understand that, yes, men commit crimes on the women, but guess what? They also create the most amount of crimes onto other men, okay? That is what a man has to fear most when they walk outside the crib, is being prey to a man that's a predator, okay? Please understand that. That's why I can't stand niggas, but I love black people, because niggas are predacious on black people, okay? You have to understand that. You have to understand the difference. You have to understand that it's men that protect you from bad men. You have to understand that. And you also need to acknowledge that there's bad women out there. Unless you're just going to say that all of the women is just flowers and clovers, and none of them can do. If that's true, look at the domestic violence rate amongst lesbian couples, the highest in all forms of types of couples. So it's not true.
I make incredible revenue, but I'm still on this hamster wheel, so much so that I'm unable to click on that pause button and just smell the roses.
Now, MTR is a very successful YouTuber and content creator. He makes a lot more money than me. Even though a person like him is drowning in cash, he's saying, I feel like I'm on the hamster wheel. And this is important because a lot of men are told you need to make a lot of money, you need to do very well. And then it comes to the point when you made so much money, you've done extremely well, and obviously you buy nice things or you invest the money, and you're doing the same thing literally over and over and over and over every day. And now you become a slave to what should have freed you, which was your financial freedom. And that's exactly what a lot of men have thought about is, I'm doing good. I'm a doctor, I'm a truck driver, I'm this and that. And you got an apartment that's $3,000 a month. You got a car note that's $1,500 a month. And now you need more money to sustain that lifestyle, and you don't get a chance to enjoy life. And that would bring up to his next point.
Walking around these streets.
This is such a good video.
And feeling ease, peace. I'm looking at all of the people smile, laugh.
He noticed that the people of Thailand, they're always happy and excited about life, even if they are not rich. In other words, money isn't everything.
Come on.
Clapping cheeks isn't everything.
It's not about
enjoying life as a man who nobody really cares about you is everything.
Yeah.
And I thought this was a very interesting video from my brother. I mean, we've been emailing since he's been away. I was kind of mad that he didn't take me so I could get on some of them elephants too out there. But this was a really good and genuine post as a content creator from MTR.
Thank you, brother.
He's very genuine with his audience and also very vulnerable. And that's why people like him. And I thought that it was really encouraging to the men out there, including myself. I mean, I work, very hard in this business, but take time for yourself if you can. Even if I don't do it all the time like I should, you should, and I'm gonna do it. Take time for yourself.
Man.
If that means
Tremendous video.
leaving what you consider the rat race in America to going to a more peaceful country, You don't have to impress anybody. You don't need to have Benzes. You don't need to have cars. You don't need to have all this stuff to live a life. Most men don't even need that stuff. I think you should do what exactly is best for you. And living in these other countries, people are figuring it out that, hey, listen, the United States is not the end all be all. There are other opportunities out there. There are other people that I can make friends with. I can build a new life with. And men are exercising that option every day. And shout out to the passport bros, because they're the ones that have really put it out there that you don't have to be a slave if you don't want to. As long as you can support yourself, you have opportunities out there. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Oshay Duke Jackson.
Shout out to Oshay. There's really not much that I can say on time. He nailed all of the points, all of the things that I was trying to say. But Oshay is also abroad. So he understands from his perspective of being an international citizen, an expatriate. He understands what I effectively realized, even after I've been to 13 different countries throughout my life, that it took me so long. And I guess I really didn't understand it until, or I really didn't appreciate it is really the correct word. I really didn't appreciate it until I became a little bit older. And then I also saw my father pass away in the way that he did. And I realized that this shit is finite as hell. And we now got to be able to maximize your fulfillment for as long as what you can. And there's a lot of brothers that have reached all over different portions of the world. It don't even matter your race, creed, color, religion, your ethnicity, or your nationality, because I talked to them all when I was over there. But they all said, life is amazing here. Life is amazing here. And the happiness that I feel here is not something that I would have been able to feel over there in the rat race, with the propaganda that this is the best place on God's green earth that we should be. Shout out to my brother, Oshay Duke Jackson. Phenomenal video, Oshay. Holy moly. Such a good video. Thank you so much for putting that together. That was a great video. Guys, do me a favor, as you guys leave the building, put a like on the video so we can get this out to as many folks that have just not privy to this information, right? Not privy to this perspective. Oshay, thank you so much, bro, for the respect, for the love, for the appreciation. The clip of my pops that you put in there choked me up a little bit, but it just reminds me of just, you know what I'm saying, his impact within my life. So, you know what I mean? Thank you, guys. Thank you to my supporters. Listen, all the comments you guys been leaving on all the videos, man. Like, you know, I see some of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, just keep on, with the positivity. The comments drive. Think about internet shows such as The Breakfast Club that get put on a Netflix. You take the comment section out, you lose some of the luster. So the comments matter. Your participation within the content matters, okay? And last but not least, viraltovalue.com. I'm giving my entire system, copy my system of what it is that I do to create, when I'm not on vacation, 50 to 100 grand per month. It is right that up in there, viraltovalue.com. I think it's the first link down in the description box down below. Go up there. It's going to explain a lot more. It's a whole website. But I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for all the support. I appreciate you guys. And as always, peace.
So, without further ado, MTR, cut through the BS like we in charge. No cap with the rappers like steel bars. I'm packing and rapping like here we are. Mediocre tutorial reviews. Like, comment, share my views. Come up and I paid my dues. Big step in my black way shoes. MTR, he break it down, yeah, it's MTR. Check out the sound when it's MTR. No one put it down like it's MTR.